This morning, firefighters across California, including here in San Diego County, are working around the clock to put out several fast-moving wildfires. Thousands have been forced out of their homes. To the left, the Tussle fire burning near Campo. On the right is the Bain fire in Riverside County. It's burned nearly 1,400 acres. And on the bottom right is the Sandy fire burning in Ventura County. That fire is now at nearly 1,700 acres. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Glad you're with us. We know it's dry. The brush is certainly dry. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Narani, tracking these weather conditions as the crews are all across the state trying to put out all these fires, and including here in San Diego.
Wait, we need some rain.
Yeah, not only is it dry in terms of the brush out there, but we're also going to be watching for a drop in relative humidity this afternoon.
Okay.
Santa Ana winds are going to be a little breezier, and that's going to be a concern for fire crews out on the front lines. It could also send some smoke from East County toward our coastline and our inland valleys. That's something we'll be watching for going into the about mid-morning afternoon stretch. Today is the warmest day of the week, so that's not helping us out either. Expected to make it into the 80s toward the mountains, 90s for the deserts, but out by the water and inland will be mostly in the 70s. While you see sunshine there, that's the expectation going into the afternoon. For now, it's a bit foggy. Notice that fog kind of creeps in from the South Bay, moving up toward Kearney Mesa at 1.5 miles of visibility. North Island right now at 4 miles. Aside from that, North County's looking pretty smooth in terms of visibility this morning. 6:01 right now. Vanessa Paz checking in on traffic. Good morning.
Oh, yeah. It was really foggy out there when I was leaving the South Bay this morning. So that's where it's looking the most dense when it comes to our Caltrans cameras. As we take a look on the 15 Poway Road, it's usually foggy from this vantage point, but it looks like we're at clear viz on the 15 South right at Poway Road. Let's go ahead and showcase some other cameras. You can see that it gets a little hazy once you get closer to the metro area on the 94. And then this is what it looks like on the 805 as you make your way in from Chula Vista, headed northbound, passing Home Avenue towards North Park. Continue to look out for this crash on the right shoulder. This is in Escondido on the 15 South before you hit the 78. All right, coming up still a little later, we'll take a look at what your Wednesday travel times have in store. That's all I had. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Right now, evacuation warnings are still in place for the Tussle fire. This is the one burning in Far East County. This morning, it is at 1,000 acres and only 10% contained. Look how it's moving up that hillside. Started yesterday about 1 p.m. in the 37,000 block of Tussle Road on the La Posta Reservation north of Interstate 8. That dry brush and high winds fueling this fire. It grew hundreds of acres in a matter of hours. It spread quickly. We talked to a family who had to evacuate with only a few minutes' notice.
I was scared. I was frightened. I thought about my son because he was at school. I didn't know how he was going to get home.
Oh, glad they're all together, at least there. The evacuation center is at the Golden Acorn Casino. There are some closures on Interstate 8. No word yet on the cause of the fire. Several fires are burning in Southern California right now, forcing tens of thousands of people from their homes. Here's a look at a map showing how many we are dealing with here. Santa Rosa Island fire, that's the largest at nearly 17,000 acres. The Sandy fire burning in Ventura County, that one at nearly 1,700 acres. It's forced more than 30,000 people to leave their homes. Those evacuation orders. The Bain fire in Riverside County has burned nearly 1,400 acres. And then there's a nearby Verona fire burning at least 430 acres right now. The Foothill fire, that's in Santa Barbara, that's at 460 acres. These fires burning across the state right now do serve as a good reminder for all of us to always be prepared. That includes defensible space cleared around your home. You don't want that brush leading right up to your house. You should also have a bag full of essential items ready to grab in a moment's notice. It's also important to have a plan of where to go should you need to evacuate.
This morning, San Diego police and the FBI are releasing new details about the deadly shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. Authorities say security guard Amin Abdullah was the first to confront the suspects outside of the mosque and used his radio to initiate the Islamic Center's lockdown protocol while in a gun battle. That allowed everyone to go into hiding, including school children.
And ultimately deterred these two individuals from gaining access to the greater areas of the mosque.
Police say video from inside the Islamic Center shows the two suspects going from room to room, then looking out a window and running outside where they found the two other victims, Mansour Kaziha and Nadir Awad, drawing their attention. Authorities believe the gunman met online and left behind a manifesto filled with messages of hate. Law enforcement did receive and recover 30 guns, a crossbow, and ammunition after conducting 3 search warrants at residences related to the suspect. And this morning, we're also learning about the 3 men killed in what police are saying was a hate-fueled attack at the Islamic Center there of San Diego.
Last night, many people gathered to honor the victims. They're being hailed as heroes for their actions. News 8's Tori Apodaca live outside of the Islamic Center of San Diego with how they're being remembered. Tori.
Yeah, right now you can see just over my shoulder the growing memorial for these 3 men who were shot and killed out here on Monday. There's flowers, candles, signs of solidarity. It's been remarkable as we've heard more stories about each of these family men and how they were long-term members of the Islamic Center. Here are photos of all 3 victims. Mansour Kazia, he ran the store at the mosque and was known as being the leader's right-hand man. Amin Abdullah, the security guard, who even after getting shot was still able to alert people inside the building to go into lockdown mode. And then Nadir Awad, whose wife is a teacher at the school. When he heard shots, he ran from his nearby home to the danger. Loved ones, members of the Islamic Center, and people from the community all gathered Tuesday evening for a vigil to honor the men who they say acted selflessly and possibly prevented greater tragedy. It was a display of people of all faiths, races, backgrounds, all coming together, and an opportunity for them to share their favorite memories with each of the men. One of the security guard's daughters spoke out yesterday at a press conference about her father's character. He was a father of 8.
Regardless if you were a Muslim, okay, if you were Christian, if you were Jewish, if you had no faith, he didn't care. He would treat you human to human. He would smile at people he did not know. You can see the happiness and just who he was as a person, just looking at his face.
And we really just have been hearing so many messages from the community, just prayers for peace, people coming together from all different backgrounds. Happening tonight at UC San Diego, the Muslim Student Association will be hosting a vigil at the Silent Tree sculpture, just inviting people in to pray for peace in the midst of what happened out here on Monday. Reporting live in San Diego, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you very much for that. And now authorities are working to answer critical questions about how the attack was planned, any possible warning signs, and whether or not anyone else will face criminal charges in connection with the shooting. We spoke with a criminal defense attorney to get more insight.
If there's anybody else involved, either encouraging them or providing them with some sort of, maybe intelligence on the mosque, that's something that they'll look into.
Police are also focused on how the suspects gained access to the weapons used in the shooting. Authorities say the guns used were not registered to the suspects. Police say the 17-year-old suspect's mother called them before the shooting, reporting her son was suicidal and had taken several firearms from the home.
The mother did the right thing by calling the police immediately. I mean, she did the right thing. The question for investigators here is, was she doing the right thing up to that point?
Investigators say reviewing digital evidence, online activity, and interviews with family and friends could still take weeks or even months as they work to determine whether anyone else could ultimately face criminal charges. Be sure to stay with us right here for the latest on the shooting. You can follow CBS 8 on social media and download our free CBS 8 app on your phone and TV.
This morning, missing Chula Vista woman Maya Meliete's father will take the stand again after an emotional day in court. Maya's father sobbed on the stand and screamed at her husband Larry, asking, quote, "Why did you do this?" while Larry sat emotionless as he listened to his father-in-law. Larry is accused of killing Maya, though her body has never been found. Jurors also heard from a receptionist at a law firm who said Maya called seeking information about divorce the very day she vanished in 2021.
Turning now to other news here this morning. Keep your eye out. You're going to see a lot more people out on the roads in red, maybe red shoes and all. You can support families of children undergoing medical treatment.
Yep, today is Red Shoe Day. This is a day to raise money for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego. Let's fill up these big red shoes, right? News 8's Chris Crow live at the intersection of Convoy and Engineer.
Oh, he's stretching.
Yep, there you go. Stretch it out. You got to be running around collecting a lot of money, getting money in these shoes here. Yep, watch out for the hammy.
Listen, guys, Ronald McDonald, very much wanting to make sure that we are prepared. We are warmed up. We are ready to go because we're less than an hour away from a very big day, right, Ronald?
It is the 17th annual Red Shoe Day, Chris, and we are just getting ready for those volunteers to be out on the street with the red shirts, the red shoes, and collecting funds for Ronald McDonald House of San Diego.
Now, we've got a little bit of a preview here, Convoy and Engineer. We've got some of our own volunteers that are out here. So, again, a little bit of a tease, but also if you guys want to come out, say hello to Ronald, myself, Chuck, the crew, you guys can do so. Again, you can honk, but you can also drive by and go ahead and donate to those red shoes.
In the red shoes?
Right. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and put the change, the dollars, whatever it is that we have, right?
That's wonderful. Make sure you slow down and be cautious with our volunteers out there today.
Yeah, because while we are flexible, we are not that pliable, right? We can't reach out into the middle of the road. Chuck Day here with the Ronald McDonald's House. Chuck, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, for those who are watching, we've got another way that they can go ahead and donate where if they're maybe not driving today, they're not going to drive by one of these intersections, they can still donate.
Absolutely. We'd really appreciate that as well. Drop your cash and coin inside a red shoe, or you can go to Venmo to do that with us. You can also get us at redshoedaysd.com, sandiego.com. You can find ways to donate there. And by the way, all funds donated today are matched by the Fowler Family Challenge. Double your impact.
That is so cool. Now, Ronald, when you hear that, that's got to bring a smile to your face, right?
Even more so. Yeah, look at that smile. I have some competition. That does bring a smile to my face. You know, those funds really help families in need with hospitalized children, that they can keep those families close by.
Yeah. And you do so much work making so many families happy, so many children happy as well, too. And Chuck, real quick, before we send things back to the studio, I do have to ask again, how many intersections, how many volunteers do we have out there today?
More than 800 volunteers spread throughout San Diego at over 90 intersections. Just look for the red shoe and the signs, and you're going to find us. Thank you so much for helping out with Red Shoe Day here in San Diego.
That's awesome. Now, it is a very big day today. We'll send things back to you guys in studio, but Ronald, it was a big day yesterday for someone as well, too.
It was. Happy belated birthday, Netta. I remember when I turned 18 as well.
Oh,
How sweet
Ronald
is that?
coming in.
Thank you, Ronald. Oh, my
Quick
goodness.
ones. That's right. Thank you,
She says
buddy.
thank you.
That was very sweet. Oh.
Big smile he has
was like,
there.
what's he
Everyone's
getting
smiling
at?
here. It's a happy belated
Thank
birthday
you very
to
much.
you.
Happy
Yes.
belated, Netta,
Thank
and
you.
happy belated birthday to your son
Yes.
as well.
Right. That, literally, I'm like, it was
guys
his
share it.
birthday. I'm no longer
Like, I wasn't celebrating much.
Yeah. But I mean, he's 3 now, so yeah, we had a lot of fun yesterday to
Yeah.
For you
be
guys.
together.
It has been wonderful weather out there
Yeah.
the last couple of days. We've been enjoying a foggy start to the day, and I know not a lot of people enjoy it, but at least the cloudy skies have helped to keep our UV exposure pretty low, and over the last many mornings have helped to keep those temperatures a little bit more mild up until about the afternoon stretch. Yesterday we had sunshine countywide to start the day. Today we've got some fog out there. Doesn't look like it's all that dense, which means that we will be transitioning very quickly to sunshine. This is another view from Mount San Miguel. When we checked it on it about a half hour ago, we noticed a lot more cloud cover, which means that those clouds are already pulling back with a decent amount of speed and transitioning us to sunshine. Sunrise was at 5:47, sunset coming at 7:44. Still watching for some wildfire smoke in the area. We've got the Santa Rosa Island fire that was sending smoke to Southern California and specifically to San Diego to start off the work week. That was Sunday and Monday. We also now have smoke from the Tussle fire out in East County that could be sending smoke toward the coast and inland. Sandy fire up in Simi Valley causing some concern. So regional fires are calling for air quality alerts to be in effect. All that yellow that you saw, spots where our monitoring sites are recording moderate air quality as opposed to good air quality. So we're already starting to see that degraded air quality. We'll see if any spots transition to that unhealthy for some groups range. Air quality alert stays in effect until 4:30 p.m., extends from Temecula all the way up through LA. San Diego County right now not under an air quality alert, but could still be dealing with some of the same concerns. Our day of peak heat is today. It's our warmest one. Daytime highs 5 to 10 degrees above seasonal. And then after today, we'll get a little bit more influence from that low, helping to weaken that ridge a bit and give us slightly cooler temperatures. So you can see today as that standout warmest day, 84 on average across our inland valleys, and then cooling back down to the mid 70s by the weekend. We've got Vanessa Paz getting a check of traffic. It's 6:14. How's it going?
6:14, halfway through the week. I'm telling you, it was warm yesterday. I had to use my AC to go to bed. Okay, I wasn't okay with that, but Yeah, hopefully we're cooler by the end of the week. All right, 15 in both directions. Let's go ahead and take you there, and then we'll work our way south. This is right past Poway Road. Meanwhile, this is the drive coming to and from the downtown area as you cruise through Golden Hill in South Park. And then things are starting to slow down as you make your way inbound from Chula Vista National City. This is the 805 once you get past Home Avenue. All right, we have a crash that just came in on the 15 at Miramar Way. This may plug things up for you if, let's say, you're headed from Rancho Bernardo, Rancho Penasquitos towards the Miramar Mesa area, heading towards that 163 connector. And then we have another crash on the 15, this one a little more north near Escondido. This is still blocking the right shoulder on the 15 south right before you get to the 78. So it looks like if you're traveling anywhere south of the 78, you're in pretty good shape. But if, let's say, you're coming in from Gopher Canyon Road or the 76 connector headed southbound, that may slow things down for you this morning. All right, as we go ahead and zoom on into your travel times, as you make your way in from National City and Chula Vista, we're at average speeds of about 67, 70 miles per hour or so. Here's what it looks like coming in from the East County, about 50 mile per hour speeds westbound coming in from Santee, about 70, 75 or so in from La Mesa. And then here's what it looks like out of Oceanside and Escondido, steady speeds there. Travel time still in really good shape, all in the green. Out of the North County. And then here is what it looks like out of the East County, 3 to about 8 minutes. Out of the South Bay, Chula Vista National City, 5 and 805, 10 to 15 for you. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Vanessa is still ahead here. What a new national study is revealing about littering across America.
Plus, on a major primary night, big wins for President Donald Trump. We'll take a look at the results as the balance of power in Congress is at stake.